guess what?
You making the video?
That wasn't what I was telling you to guess what. What you know about budgeting? Do you know about budgets?
Saving up money.
But it's more to it than that. And guess what? You gonna learn today. It's simply just time. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. You just don't know how excited I am because I have all three of my girls back today. Jordan has been with her dad since I want to say a couple days before I went to Jamaica, and that was on, I want to say since like June 14th. So it's so good to see her. She's been playing basketball and she also goes to camp. So she's been busy this summer. But today I'm going to be talking to them about savings. So that's what I want you guys to tune in for today. Growing up, savings was not talked about in school. It was not talked about in the home. And as an adult, I really had to figure a lot of things out on my own. So if I could prevent my children from making the mistakes I made, then I feel like I've done something.
Do you know what a budget is?
So as y'all saw earlier, I was talking to my girls about did they know what a budget was. And Jordan hinted on some things. Jordan, I can't see you. You need to move over. However, Kaysen said, And just to be clear, for those of you guys that do not know me, Kaysen is 6. She will be 7 in November. She just completed her first year of kindergarten because her birthday's late. Jordan is, how old are you?
10.
And Tutti Wooty, how old are you? She almost 9 months. And she probably is not going to let us be great. But Jordan, make sure she don't try to put nothing in her mouth.
Okay. Stop.
Now, the difference between my two kids is the fact, well, the oldest two. Kaysen will hold on to her money. She does not have a desire to spend money. But this one, on the other hand,
I spend them coins.
woo child. So, I want to get them on track because Jordan will spend her money on, and what, in my opinion, the stupidest things ever. Mom, can we go to Five Below? She'll get something in there and within a day it's broke or she's not even using it anymore. So I'm going to try to teach them 3 things that I want them to focus on when saving. And it's called the 3 little, stop her from doing that, the 3 little piggy banks. And what that means is the first bank you want them to designate to spending. The second, you want them to go to savings. And then the third will be to giving. So, the question is...
So we gotta give our money away? Cause no.
The first conversation is, since Jordan asked, do we gotta give our money away? Do you have any money?
Yes. And my piggy bank.
Okay,
And
but...
my piggy bank.
But how do you keep your piggy bank increasing? What are some things that...
Because I always forget about it.
Okay, but how do you earn more?
But not spending money, but that's hard.
Okay. Stop biting my table. For your savings goes to it. Now, one thing that my kids do not know is, yes, they both have their own piggy banks, but I also created a savings account for them years ago, and with Capital One because they had really great interest on them. However, this is something that is offered through my job, and because I work there, I'm going to start a minor account for them. Now, with them being minors, I will have to be listed on the account. Because I work for the company, I'm able to... Where's her pacifier? Can you go grab it? I'm able to get their accounts with no fees, a minimum amount, initial deposit amount of $25. However, there's you got it. She's gonna fall. Give me her. There's
Why you let her go? I didn't.
There is, what was I gonna say? No fees or anything associated with the account. So if this is something that you would like to work with your kids on, first I would recommend doing your research, because a lot of accounts that people establish for their kids, there are fees associated with the accounts. So I scheduled an appointment to speak with someone from the branch on the 9th, which will be next week. So I'm going to take the kids along with me. They're going to both get their own debit cards. And this will be where they will get a debit card. And this to help them be able to know how to make deposits and things of that nature. So what will happen is, in order to earn more money, y'all are going to have to start doing chores. That's the best way y'all can earn your allowance. Another way y'all can earn it is something that won't be all year round, but based on your report cards. Growing up, every time I got an A or a B, I was given money by my dad or whatever for doing good on my report card. So those two things should be an initiative. And I'll record a second video of what I believe and what works for my household, because it's all about what works for your household and what works for your budget. But I'll record letting you know how I assign the girls' chores. So back to the matter at hand, the 3 piggyback tools. So experts recommend that 50 to 80% of the kids' money goes. That 50 to 80% of their money goes towards spending. So I haven't come up with the amount that they will be able to earn on chores, but I'm pretty sure I'll do it on a weekly basis. And sorry for the. So if I gave them $25 every week, half of that would be $12.5. That would have to go towards savings. Then the other amount that they recommend is savings. So 10 to 20% would have to go into a savings. And I'm going to encourage them and I'm going to talk to them, but I'm putting them on the spot. So I'm pretty sure that they're not going to be able to come up with a goal off the top of their head right now. But it's whatever they want to do. So this year, what I have in mind is to take them Christmas shopping, let them pick out their own gifts. The fund that they save can go towards vacations. We take a trip every year. So if they plan on buying something that I just feel like it's a waste because I'm already taking you guys somewhere every year, then at least they have the option to use their own money to buy something as well. They'll be able to buy gifts for people on birthdays or, something. And for the giving aspect, experts recommend 10 to 25% of their money be put in to an account to give. So Jordan was not thrilled about that, but one thing that I try to teach my kids, and especially because we have baby Taylor now, is that there are people in this world that are less fortunate than us. We may not seem like we have a lot, but there's always somebody that is doing like worse or whatever. So that's a great act to maybe have a fund set aside for back to school drive. Somebody might not be able to afford supplies for their kids, to do a food drive or something along those lines. So whether they want to or not, these are the conditions that I'm going to apply to them. And I think it's a great skill to teach your kids about saving money. One year, the kids got gift cards from my dad for Christmas to Toys R Us. And because they already had a whole bunch of toys, they still wanted to go. So they can pick a option. So like when they got the gift cards, we went into the store and I'm like, keep in mind, y'all only have X amount of dollars. They keep picking up stuff. And I noticed that as we were going down the different aisles that they were putting stuff back or they were finding things that they wanted more. So that was a good experience because, and I'm also going to share some statistics that I found very interesting about kids that have a savings or account of their own. So some statistics that I found regarding children that have a savings account or that actively save. It says 48% of teens think their parents will help pay for college, but only 16% of their parents will. So I know from when my parents were at the age of where they were thinking about college and things, the price compared to now has jumped up significantly. Like down to like gas prices and everything else. The prices are going up as we speak. There's actually a calculator on Bank of America that you can put in the calculations according to your child's age, whether or not they want to go to a private or a state college. it'll tell you how much you're looking to pay. And I ran casings according to her age, and it's going for about $200,000 a year. So that's very alarming that she's 6 by the time she's ready to go to college. Now I did start a 529 account for my kids, and you guys could look that up. I'll also attach my cousin's podcast to where he broke that information down. And that account can be used for anything regarding education. If your child does not want to go to college and they want to do like a vocational school, or if they're in private school, it does not have to be college. It could be for my kids' age now. That money can be used and it's pre-tax. So look that information up. That's a way to save. But the savings account that I'm talking about now is for like everyday use or holidays, things of that nature. Some people wonder, like, why would I give my kids a savings account? Because one question, this is no shade, it's a lot of people that are adults that still mismanage money to this day. So if I can, like I said before, teach my kids things that's going to make them avoid the mistakes that I made throughout life, then I feel like I'm doing something. And then lastly, according to Charles Schwab, in a money survey that was conducted, 64% of children are more grateful, and 58% reported that they are least likely to ask for anything. How good of a feeling is that? Like, I'm a very prideful person. Both of my parents can tell you that I would literally have to be down to lint in my pockets before I ask for anything. And it's just a good feeling. It's very empowering. And when I'm raising girls, I bought my house on my own. I'm not married. Like, these are great things to have. I'm not saying not to strive for a husband or a significant other. However, that's not everybody's reality. So in the event that that's not your case, at least you're able to bring something to the table. If not the whole table on the chair. So that's something to keep in mind. Like, you want to teach your kids how to be empowered to be able to save, especially when it comes to money and finances. A lot of kids, by the time they reach 18, they're not even able to get credit. Instead of my kids, like, my first step out of high school was I got my own apartment. That was a waste of money. I wish I would have listened and waited and got my house first, because I spent so much money in an apartment. When I finally got to the point of buying my house, I saved so much money because my mortgage is less than what I was paying in rent. And I have way more space. And I can write it off on my taxes. So that's for another video. So I'm not going to go too much into that. But I just wanted to share with you the plans that I have and the goals. So I hope that this video inspires someone to talk about finances with their family. Set up a separate account, look into creating different avenues for your kids to be ready for adulthood. Like, it's so sad that, and there's a documentary that I watched with Killer Mike. I can't think of the name of it right now, but he was just talking about how fast, and not that this is the race video, but he was saying, like, money gets so fast. I think, like, he said something along the lines of money only lasts for like an hour in a black community. Like, I believe it though. So I'm just trying to change the narrative and break the habits that I learned growing up that I had to teach myself. Now my kids have me as a resource. So thank you for watching. Feel free to share this video, like, and subscribe.